Memorial Day. A welcome day off for many, the unofficial start to summer for most, and more importantly, a day to remember our military veterans who gave their lives for ours. Let's have a moment of silence to remember them. They fought for our freedom and rights, which means the First Amendment is alive and strong. Our ability to say whatever the fuck we want has never felt more appropriate. So, without further ado, let's get back into true NTS form and talk about rotten dicks, disgusting vaginas, deplorable people, ridiculous events, unbelievable pop culture, and off-brand porn. Then, once we're done talking about Craig and Brad's unhealthy inbred take-and-take relationship, we'll probably completely eviscerate some poor, undeserving person for no real good reason. Hey, it's what we do. Now, Maestro, hit my fucking music.
Hello, welcome to Needless to Say. I'm Craig, and I am here with a pair of balls. Dave and Brad.
How did this differ from a month ago when you called us two balls in a shaft?
It didn't. It didn't at all.
No, I was
just making a point.
Yeah, you're making sure everybody knows we're just
You were busting my balls 3 seconds before I hit the record button.
I'll say this, though. The fact that Mike is shaft is pretty interesting to me.
Right.
This is the most rhythm he's ever fucking had. He has never had that level of street coolness.
Oh, boy. So we're back. What's up, boys?
We are back.
I
thought the point you were trying to make is that you're out of jokes.
Yeah, there was that.
You're recycling.
No, I'm not. I got some. What's going on, guys? How was your week, Dave?
Week was all right. My kids, my two oldest, had their elementary school did a talent show last night.
Exciting.
It's kind of open to everybody, right? So my two oldest decided they wanted to tell jokes to everybody, and I thought, shit,
if they're anything like me, this is gonna blow.
This screwed. Yeah, pretty much.
Right after the show, if you guys are going to suck at that, why don't you just get a podcast?
Yeah.
Or better yet, why don't you find one that's already been going for a year and a half and join it?
Yeah. If you're going to be that bad, use your mother's last name.
Yeah.
No,
they should anyway. She took her to Disney World.
God damn it! I said that was a softball.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Fucker. But, so they did their jokes. They were up there for maybe a minute or two, and it was mostly dad jokes told much too quickly and much too softly.
Yep.
You know, but I'm proud of them for getting up in front of an auditorium full of people and doing it.
No, that's actually shows a little confidence, and that's awesome.
They were 9 and 7, 9 and 7 years old, and
they did it together.
They did it together, yeah,
which is kind of cool. I like that.
That is cool.
It was. They did it themselves. They planned it themselves, wrote their own jokes, and they kind of played off each other. Like my daughter told some jokes to him, and he was like, "Not funny. That's not. I don't know what you're doing." Like, and that was like part of their shtick.
Oh, their shtick. That's cool.
Like, then he hit her with a few jokes, and that's kind of how they ended. So it was pretty good.
Stiller and Mira.
Yeah,
I like that.
Right.
So that was pretty cool.
No, that is cool.
Yeah, like I said, I was more impressed that they got up and did that. Just there's an auditorium full of people they don't know. All their friends are sitting on the floor right in front of them, like all the kids do in the gymnasium. Oh, yeah. I just used the word gymnasium.
You did.
I'm an old fuck.
You did. At least your school doesn't have a cafetorium. We've got one of these multi-purpose rooms where, like, it's a cafeteria, so it's got that smell of kids and lunch.
Yeah.
But there's also, like, that 5th grade ball sweat that grows. Oh. There is, like, pubes happening at this school.
Untreated funk.
Yeah. But nobody's grooming at this point. And so they're working out and they're trying to do like the presidential gym thing.
Oh,
and then like an hour later, somebody's got to eat there.
Yeah. Is it the gym where the tables fold up into the walls?
Yes.
So they're like, oh, it's lunchtime. Put the tables down.
Yeah.
And you get the janitor mopping up all that puberty off the floor.
Yeah, with that stuff that stinks worse than what he's cleaning.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Exactly.
Sniglets?
I'm sorry. What?
What?
Do you remember Sniglets?
No.
Sniglets was Rich Hall from Not Necessarily the News, and he invented words.
Oh, shit. Not necessarily the news. That was
Yeah,
a great show.
He invented words that should be in the English language but aren't.
Yep.
And one of them was barfium. And that was, and that was the stuff that they used to clean elementary school hallways.
Yep.
Barfy.
Barfium.
No, it's funny. My wife had bought this cleaner. It was a Lysol cleaner, and it reeked. It didn't. It was yellow. The bottle was yellow, like it was supposed to smell like lemons.
Yeah.
And it was horrendous.
Oh.
It smelled like vomit to me.
Oh.
And about halfway through, I'm like, I just threw the bottle out. She's like, "Where's the rest of the cleaner?" I used it. I'm like, oh,
I
matter
was
of fact,
cleaning all the shit I bought that you don't know about.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, actually, just buy something else.
Yeah.
You know, next time.
Go
That
for
stuff wasn't
green.
that great.
Go for pine.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrendous.
You ever try original Listerine? That urine sample color?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, try that.
The poison bottle?
Yeah.
Like,
My wife doesn't just buy it; she buys the gallon size because there was a deal.
yeah.
There was
yeah.
a sale happening on the
Yes.
gallon size. I mean, it takes two hands to lift this thing, and I'm sitting there, I'm holding it with two hands like I'm drinking a sippy cup, and I'm just getting some of it in my mouth, and the flavor. I don't know how this makes my breath better. It tastes like embalming fluid.
So
Yeah,
is she buying like generic brands?
No,
Like she's not
Listerine.
buying like Listerine or something like that. It's just
Wow, you made this anti-Semitic. How'd you do that?
well,
I was just thinking the same thing.
it was an accident.
Jewish mouthwash all of a sudden.
Get your smile its whitest with gefilte fish. Way to go, Dave Berg.
No, but Listerine should have skull and crossbones at the fucking bottom.
Yeah.
This shit's brutal.
Yeah.
I like the burn, but I like the burn with like a mint.
A minty
Yeah.
burn.
A-
Yeah.
Like something called Winter Fresh is something that appeals to me. Something that looks like I'm about to fail a drug test is not appealing to me. And then I got to pick it up in a 2-gallon bottle knowing the next 6 to 8 months of my life involves this shit. How do I feel good about this? What's my motivation to use mouthwash?
You should do like those young kids at the high school party. Just like stand there and hold it in your hand and spill a little bit out of it on the side and pretend you've been drinking all night.
3 mile mouthwash.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of putting her in her mouth when she's snoring in my ear. She always comes out. She does this thing where she rolls over. She's going to kill me for telling you this, but we'll be watching TV, and then she realizes I'm in bed because she always goes to bed about 2 hours before I do. And she rolls to me. And then she'll lean at me with that beautiful, I've just been sleeping for 2 hours breath.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
it's an acquired taste, but it is a unique bouquet if there ever was a smell. And she leans right into me. I would love to take this giant bottle of urine and throw it in her mouth as she's sleeping.
Get a dropper bottle.
No, I
It
think
just occurred to me, if anyone started listening at that moment just now, they're going to think this is an entirely different show.
Yeah.
I just want to splash her with that urine sample.
Right in her mouth.
Right in her mouth.
Aim for the back of her throat.
I just know it's going to get my sheets whiter. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So that was your week, huh, Dave?
Yep.
This started with my kids.
It always does. And now they're
right.
dabbling in comedy. It's
Yeah.
only going to get worse.
Yeah.
Honest, I had another shit story for you guys this week.
I assume you did.
It's not like the other shit stories I've told. It was an almost. So a few.
It's got categories.
Yeah.
We've reached DEFCON. No.
It wasn't quite a code brown. We weren't there. So one of the mornings this week, the baby woke up a little later, so our routine in the morning was off by, it was only like 15 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
So me getting her up, getting her fed, bringing her to daycare, and then coming home, I'm a little later. And usually after I come home, I get logged back into work and I've got my coffee. I log back in so I can establish my alibi. Hey, I'm working.
Yeah.
Then I go hit the bathroom.
Can I interrupt you? Logged is a very interesting choice of words.
Signed back in. So this time I get home, and as I'm getting home, I need to just get in the door and head right to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I go in there, I get in the bathroom, I sit, and things start happening. I look next to me, no toilet paper.
Oh.
And it's not just no toilet paper. The toilet paper ran out. Someone took the empty carton roll off the spool and put the spool back in the holder. So one of two things is going on. Either one of my kids is just an idiot and forgot halfway through.
Or your wife's hoping for another story.
Or there's some very passive-aggressive messaging going on about bathroom habits. Turns out it was the latter. The day before, apparently, I left only a few squares on the roll. Someone had to use the bathroom and ended up finishing with baby wipes.
Yep.
Which isn't a bad thing,
No.
depending on what's going on, because sometimes that just moves things around.
Yeah.
So I sit down, and I'm halfway through what I got to do, and I look over, and there's just this white plastic spindle with nothing around it. Now, I'm within arm's distance of we have a little closet in the bathroom I can reach, and that's where we keep all the extra toilet paper.
Yeah.
Shelf is empty.
Oh, good.
So I have two options. I either go upstairs to the other bathroom or downstairs to get the toilet paper. The downstairs is closer. I walk out of the bathroom, I'm basically at the basement
dirty
stairs.
ass with your pants around your
So
knees. Still.
I had to MC Hammer my way down the hallway and then fucking Donkey Kong down the stairs to get a roll of toilet paper. Backwards Donkey Kong up. I look like fucking Qbert going up the stairs.
Wow, so many references.
And then hammer pants back to the bathroom.
Could have thrown a moonwalk in there, just to stay relevant.
So I didn't shit myself, but I almost left a trail of what happened.
You almost shit everything else.
That's right. I almost left fucking racing stripes through my hallway.
Oh my God, I'm going to wear shower shoes to your home.
No, we'll clean it with Listerine. We're fine.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're off to a bang-up start. Dave literally has a spastic colon.
It's not spastic. It wasn't my fault.
It wasn't your fault. Clearly, you provoked somebody who wanted to
Well, that's
play a game.
And that's the thing. And if Craig can attest this, I think the Cabral family motto could be, whose fault is it really?
That's the truth.
It will
Whose
always
fault
come back
is it?
to me.
Yes.
I swore I wasn't going to say anything about this, but I think this is literally called Game of Thrones.
Wait, we should just call it Shame of Thrones. It's probably more appropriate.
As you walk down the stairs, shame.
Yeah.
You're walking through the hallway, like crab walking down the stairs.
And I'm pretty sure, I love that Dave actually said I was about halfway through what I had to do.
Yeah.
Like he knows there's a timestamp. Yeah. It's like I'm over the hump. Like when you're driving to New York and you get to New Haven, you're halfway there.
Yep. Well, damn well when you're halfway through a shit, you gotta check and see. All right, how much toilet paper you need. So I was like, all right, let me size up what I'm gonna need.
That's your mistake, kid. That's
way
the first thing I do.
Yeah.
See, but my schedule was off.
You weren't a Boy Scout.
No. No.
I assess the room immediately.
No.
I want to make sure the window is cracked so I don't have to try to do that from the seat. Because you don't have the leverage at that point. No. You're just reaching like you're trying to escape. It's a bad scene, but you're trying because it's an old house. They stick. But I'm not getting up.
No.
Because unlike most healthy people, I don't like seeing what I'm producing. I don't want to see the end result.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Well, it was on every third step.
Oh, that reminds me, Craig, we need to put that carpet on my stairs.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining he said Donkey Kong. He's dropping logs, and there's a little Italian plumber jumping over. You got your daughter up there holding her hostage.
Oh shit.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my week.
There you go.
I thought you guys would all appreciate it.
So Brad, how was your week? Better, I'm sure.
On Tuesday, I thought I had done the most white trash parenting thing in the world, but Dave always comes in here and saves the day.
Right?
And
I'm here for you, baby.
Yeah, you are. I wish you were there for your baby.
Yeah.
On Tuesday night, I decided that Sophia was old enough and intelligent enough to go to WWE Smackdown up in Providence.
Yep.
So I took her to go see a little bit of wrestling.
Nice.
And it was good. We had a good time, which we weren't prepared for was all the breaks. It's a TV show. And so it's
yeah.
a live TV show. So guess what happens? You know,
Did they stop wrestling?
they stop. Well, they don't stop wrestling. What they do is they start doing the rest holds. And so, like, you'll see a lot of choke holds and sleeper holds.
For
and
like
things
10 minutes?
for like roughly 6 minutes.
No
and
shit.
they'll jump out of the ring and they'll start jawing with the audience and the
Yeah.
other person stays in the ring. And then out of nowhere, you see the lights change when they're coming back to TV. And all of a sudden, they're like right back to feverish action. It was a good time. There was a woman behind us. Now, we were sitting in fairly cheap seats, but the beauty of the arena up in Providence is that there are no bad seats.
No, it's very small.
Right.
Yeah, so we had a good view of everything that was going on. We saw the screens. We saw everybody run
Yeah,
in.
you took a picture of the ring and sent it to me.
Yeah,
And it was close.
it was right there.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
There aren't any bad seats.
No.
No.
There's not.
But there was one bad seat, and it was 2 rows in front of this fat fucking bitch sitting there. This woman had to be 55. She had children there with her. She brought the children to the show.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to scream at every wrestler that got on the microphone like they could hear her from the upper deck. And she was talking very specifically about things that they had said on like Instagram
Oh.
and Twitter. And she was really thought she was improving the experience. One point, one of her kids says, "Mom, cool out."
How old are her kids?
They were old enough to know better, I can tell you that.
She dropped him an elbow and just started fucking screaming.
Fuck you, Jedediah.
Something tells me she did that as soon as it fell out of her wasted uterus. She just left that thing on the shag rug. I don't need no clippers. Let me drop kick that umbilical cord right the fuck off you.
Her vagina is the rock
Chewed it
bottom.
off herself.
The rock bottom. She got a stone cold stunner right to her womb. Sophia, all 10 years old of her, actually looked at me and goes, "This woman doesn't get that it's fake, does she?" And that's why I'm like, at one whole scene, I was like, there's hope for the future.
Yeah.
But we need hope because
Yes.
of that woman behind us. Literally screaming, "Why don't you go back to Instagram, Dolph Ziggler?"
What the fuck?
Okay, first of all, there's a character named Dolph Ziggler. That in and of itself
Yeah,
is pretty
there you go.
embarrassing. But he's a talented dude. And she's screaming at him like he's going to stop his thing and go, "You're right, ma'am."
Yeah.
Like he's going to interrupt a live TV. She was horrendous, and she ruined it for me. Also,
that
what
sucks.
ruined it for me is that they decided they didn't want adults to have fun at this show.
Yeah.
Every beer was $15.
Come
That's
on.
fucking insane.
A 22-ounce Budweiser or a 19-ounce craft beer, $15 a
Oh
can.
my god.
I understand you don't want people to get drunk. I get it.
Yeah.
But stadium pricing's already inflated for that very same
for that
reason.
reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we were at Comic-Con, the same beers were just about $7 a pop.
yeah.
Wow.
More than double the price
Yeah.
for wrestling. And you could actually see where they duct taped over the prices.
That's fucked up.
I had a woman apologize to me. She's like, "Yeah, bottle of water and a dogfish head." I'm like, "Yeah, that'll be great." She goes, "Okay, that'll be $21 and I'm sorry."
Wow.
And I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry. That's how she said
Yep.
it. She was clearly somebody who got it. So, but other than that, the fact that my kid is now kind of into wrestling gives me somebody to talk to about it, so I don't have to waste your time with it.
Yeah. And I appreciate it.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's really good. I don't know. Tell me more about your comic books and all of those realistic scenarios. But it also really gave me a glimmer of hope. I've had some issues with my daughter. I've been very candid about that.
Yeah.
She's had her moments. This was a really good daddy-daughter moment.
Yeah.
Good.
And I never thought that our first really great daddy-daughter date would happen
be
at
at wrestling.
WWE Smackdown. But she proved to me exactly why she's so fucking smart. You know, and somebody else...
She's a very intelligent kid.
Yeah, well, nobody said that about, fucking Shamu two rows back.
Yeah.
I was waiting for her to make a splash right on my $15 beer. But anyway, that was my week. Craig, how was yours?
It was uneventful. It really was. I didn't do much, other than typical work, bullshit, and stuff like that. And except one night, it had called Brad about it too, because I'm not a big pot person. You know what I mean? And
I already like where this is going.
yeah, and I had
I
some.
hate that I've become the supplier.
You're the
So
expert.
So I had
Neither.
a couple of these candies, like candy edibles, and then a vape pen. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna chill out tonight. An easy day tomorrow, so I'm gonna go to bed early. That was my plan. Like, eat this candy, watch a little TV, fall asleep nice and early, and
Oh, I was worried you melted the candy, then tried to vape the candies, and I was like, oh shit.
Might as well have.
just crack
I
piped
should
a
have
bunch
just
of
crushed them
candies.
up and snorted it. Because, like a fool, I ate the candy.
All right.
And then about I would say 20 minutes, a half hour later, I'm like, I could kind of feel it, but it's not doing it for me,
How long does it usually take for those
It
to
can
kick in?
take anywhere
Up to
from
2 hours.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Is it like kind of hit or miss, or is it like...
No, it works. It just sometimes it takes a little longer. It depends on
It's like anything else. If you have a
you're
tolerance
digesting
for
it. Yeah.
No, I guess what I'm saying is if you have the same ones tonight, would they take the same amount of time to kick in, or is it really
I
dependent
think the fact that he's been drinking will change that.
Yeah, that
it
would
depends
change
what you have.
accelerate
It's basically when you smoke weed, and this is what I've learned. When you smoke weed, it goes right to your head, and it's almost instant.
Yes.
You got to digest the edible. It's got to go through your bloodstream.
yeah,
it's a whole different animal.
Okay.
And if you've got a full meal in you, it probably won't hit you hard at
Take
all.
a
Yeah,
while.
so-
All right,
and that's
makes
what
sense.
it was.
All right.
It was kind of a little bit after dinner. I took it and I sat down to watch. I'm like, I'm gonna watch some Netflix, and so I ate it. And a little while went by, and I was like, okay, it's not working. So I'm like, you know what? I got that vape pen. So I took 2 puffs off the vape pen, and I would say it was only about 4 or 5 minutes after that. That I was like, you know what? I want some ice cream. And I go and I get a bowl of ice cream. And then I'm like, you know what? There's Fruit Loops on the top of my refrigerator. So I'm going to sprinkle the Fruit Loops all over the ice cream.
What kind of ice cream?
Vanilla.
All right. Okay. That's all right.
So now I'm sitting on the couch eating vanilla ice cream covered in Fruit Loops. And I'm watching TV. But I'm not really watching it because I'm like zoning out. And I just keep looking up at it. And then it took me about 20 minutes to realize I was just watching the Netflix logo. I hadn't even pressed the button yet.
So how was it?
It was great for the time I was awake.
I would love to see Fran. What are you watching? I don't know, but I'll let you know when I get there.
Yeah, it was insane. It was great. I was fine, but I was just like so out. I'm like, holy shit, Netflix. I was just staring at the logo, so I hit play, put on a show, and then I woke up.
I've never been that high. I have been high enough that I turned down a hand job.
Yeah,
recently.
that's not cool.
Recently.
Is that why we haven't seen Sometimes Manny?
Used to be all the time, Manny.
Used to be.
I'm going to see that son of a bitch tomorrow night. He's coming to pick me up. I'm going to sit shotgun. Maybe I'll get a little road hand.
There you go.
Nah. I
That's like catcher's mitt. That fucking hand.
Fred Flintstone's feet.
Yeah.
Looks like the Thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for picking me up tomorrow, Manny. Anyway. So that was it. That was your week. You got high.
That was pretty much that. And other than that, it was just work. And I went to bed early a bunch of times. I said it last week how I think I needed a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
and it's happening. But then the past 2 days I started getting up. Like yesterday I got up like a little about 5:15, and today I was up at 10:05.
Oh my God.
You don't have a farm.
No, I got things to do before I got to go to work.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You really don't.
No, I don't.
You're pathetic. It's actually kind of sad. You just want free time.
I like to watch cartoons, yeah.
But that's just it. You guys make fun of me for staying up later than I should. All you're doing is doing it
at a
reverse.
different time of day. He's right.
You're getting up so you don't have to have time with your wife. No, that's it. No. Say it on the air and be honest.
No,
that's exactly what
up.
you're doing.
She's usually up.
No, she's not. She's ignoring you.
Well, she's ignoring me, but she's up.
For 20 years, she's been getting up at 5 a.m. and you wake up and in her head she's thinking, "Fuck, give me a minute."
Yeah, pretty much.
He's always here.
Yeah.
Why do you think she's such a big supporter of this show? It's not because we're good.
Yeah. You know how many times I leave the house and it's funny. I mean, obviously she does it on purpose, but as soon as I shut the door and I hit the bottom of the stairs, she goes, "Woohoo!" Like that.
I want you to
every Friday night.
You got to do me a favor and get an energy audit for your house, and I guarantee the electric usage goes up every Friday night. From all the vibrator action that's happening.
All the fucking batteries that are missing out of that pack. Like that I bought.
You're going to come back home one day early, and there's going to be a big Amazon package on your doorstep, and you're going to, "Fran, what'd you do? Buy a new vacuum?" And she's going to be like, "Nope," and then grab it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be it.
Indistinguishable looking package.
Yeah. I believe they call that
balls.
Discreet.
Yeah, discreet packaging. It's got balls. Big shaft with this pair of nuts.
Somebody in her life has to. All right, so we're making a lot of dick jokes tonight. We made a couple weed jokes. I guess it's a conscious or not conscious effort. I don't know what it is, but we are trying to get back to normal. Last week, I have to say, we did 3+ hours of quality audio.
Yeah.
We did a discussion, but about half of it was needless to say, and half of it was TED Talk.
Yeah.
We did a good job, but we took a chunk out. If you know us, you know where it broke.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we had to take a lot of it out because it really wasn't on brand.
No, it was just.
But
it was just a discussion.
That's where it went, though.
Yeah, that's where it went, and we got serious and. Yeah.
We got into it. We got caught up in what we were talking about.
And it was fun. I enjoyed the conversation.
It is. We ripped through, I think, what was it, 3 hours?
It was 3 hours and 2 minutes, I believe, is what we ended up with. And then Craig's first edit came in at 2 hours.
42 hours and 48 minutes.
Yep. And then it got down to 2:35 by the grace of God. And then I listened to it and I said, you know what? We got to take 40 minutes out of this thing.
And
And that's what we did. And we did, and it broke great, and we still had a good chat. But let me tell you, the three of us are starting to develop this really cool rapport, you know? We've got a good conversation thing going. However, I didn't think it really necessarily was best for the listener.
No, it was too long. It was a lot. And
if we got 3 hours of gold, I say we go with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we did that for Comic-Con. That was gold. But this one was a little inside baseball. So we're going to try to get back to our roots tonight. We got a few things on tap. We did put out a feeler for the first time ever.
Giggity?
Giggity.
Yeah.
We put out a feeler, which is the name of that package on your doorstep.
That's right.
It's made by Hoover.
Yeah.
The Hoover Hatter. So we put out some feelers on Facebook, and we got some responses from some very obvious people. But Christie was the first one to respond. And we kind of did a listeners thing. And Christie...
Yeah, we asked what people wanted to hear us talk about.
Now, one of the things we like about Christie's the one who runs ntsrundowns.com. Or it's right now, I think it's ntsrundowns.blogspot.com or .wordpress.com or .you didn't pay us for the URL, so stop trying to access this website.com. But Christie is normally the voice of reason. Christie is normally the one that kind of brings us back to earth.
Yes.
Christie reached out to us out of nowhere and said, hey, why don't you guys do a show about, hey, how can I get a guy to fuck me?
Yeah.
And I wish I was making that quote up, but I'm
No,
not.
that was the actual question.
Yep.
Yeah.
But hey, we are a show for the people,
We are.
so we're going to answer that.
Yes.
We're going to answer that. Craig, lead us off, please.
Well, I said option 1, move in real close, whisper into his ear these exact words. Hey, wanna fuck? Your pants will be around your ankles and your skirt will be over your head in minutes.
Over your head? How long is this skirt?
It's pretty long.
What part of the country is this? Were you fucking the Amish?
And this will work with 99% of single men, 99% of the time.
Not just single.
Yes.
Single.
Not just single.
No. Single straight men.
No, I think
it'll-
Brad's going with straight men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all straight men.
Yeah.
You married? Don't fucking matter. Somebody comes up to you and says, hey, want to fuck?
Yeah.
You consider it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm in a very happy marriage. I love my wife. She's right in there. She was the one that provided the beer tonight. I guarantee you, somebody comes up to me next week when I'm in New York and says, hey, want to fuck? I have to stop.
Yeah.
I have to have that pause.
Exactly. Don't say want to make love. That's going to just ruin it right out of the gate. And now you're cutting it down to like 12%.
See, that was always my pickup line. I go up to women in a bar. I go, hey, you know what? I really just want to cuddle and have your head on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And what they didn't realize is that I would just bang the shit out of them before we made that happen.
Yeah.
So you weren't lying.
No, I
I
wasn't.
used to just say, I don't want to cuddle. I want your head on my lap.
I just want to bounce
Yeah.
like Tigger.
It worked. Nah. Just jokes.
What's funny is
But-
I didn't see this when I first came over tonight to Studio B, and you guys said, "Hey, what would your advice be if Christy asked this question?" I said, "Just ask.
Yeah, exactly.
How do I
Just
get a
ask.
guy to fuck me? Just ask." And then Craig read what he was thinking. I was like, that's it. It's not science.
Then they said, like, there's option 2. If you want options, just hold a raffle.
Yeah.
It's done.
Travel with tickets. You keep the numbered side.
Yeah. But I think that's. Yeah. What else? What else could you do?
If you're looking to get laid, I think that's easier than looking to match up with someone.
Yeah.
But it's easy to go out and fucking bone now, I think. Especially with all the dating apps you hear about.
Well, yeah, but
not
I
even
mean,
that.
as a woman, from the dawn of time, all they had to do was say, "Hey, want to do it?"
And you know what's crazy? If some cave woman showed up in this garage right now and went, ugh,
And laid on the floor.
all three of us would be like, I agree.
Yeah.
And we would be right the fuck over there.
I'd be like, mammoths, I gotta get a mammoth and fight. or the whole village is gonna die. And she's like, he's like, well, I can give it 15 minutes. You know,
They don't run that fast.
they don't run that
Or
fast.
better yet, while her guy was out getting a mammoth, you were giving her one.
Yeah.
Right in the tusks.
Right.
I wonder if there was infidelity back then.
Of course there
Man,
was.
go, tiger. You come now.
Unda Luna Lana? Caveman, the movie with Ringo Starr?
I do not.
You never saw
I didn't say I never saw it. I said I don't want to discuss it now because it's an obnoxiously stupid movie.
Alunda Lana?
Stop.
Stop.
Please.
Stop. Like the sign that goes up every time you interrupt a conversation that's flowing really well. All right, my I don't know. I had ideas, but I think when you want to get laid, like you're going out as a woman with the purpose of getting laid, I think you have to set the scenario a little more.
All right.
I think you guys just feel like they can walk anywhere, spread their legs an inch apart, create that thigh gap, and let their pheromones take over. I don't, unless you smell like musk, that probably ain't happening.
Yeah.
But I feel like a Mexican restaurant is the ideal place to make this happen. I put in some thought on this.
I can't wait.
Okay. Well, for one, booze flows at Mexican restaurants.
Yes.
Agreed.
If you go to the diner and you order a second cocktail, everybody in there ordering cheeseburgers and pancakes for dinner is like, wow, what an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But if you order a second margarita in a Mexican restaurant, they're just like, come on, catch up.
Yeah.
Like everybody's into it.
Agreed.
So automatically booze is there. Now, also, it's really good because if you can eat a burrito in 3 bites, you're kind of setting the precedent for the evening. You're letting him know, hey, I'm a gamer.
Yeah.
But you're also limiting your activities for later.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually kind of what I'm considering a benefit. Remember, this is coming from the woman's perspective.
Oh, right.
If you pound a burrito in 4 bites, no self-respecting guy is expecting anal.
Yeah.
So that takes that whole level of awkwardness
Yeah.
like right out of the
Right out of the
equation.
way. Yeah, you're all set.
I also think if you're a slut, say so. Just come right out and say, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm an
Own it.
absolute trash cum dumpster whore.
Own it.
Own it. Because then, you know, he doesn't have to try so hard. You get to know him better. And nobody's debating whether or not you get dessert.
Yeah.
I think if he's being a little more stubborn or purposely shy or trying to be a gentleman, keep mentioning how much you really want to try his chimichanga. I think it's there. I also think you kind of have your dinner conversation when your meals arrive. Tell a vague story about how you once got turned out by 3 Border Patrol guards. And while you're doing that, liberally use the following terms: panties, stain, sniffing dogs. And mix them up. Don't do them in that order every time. Like, mix it up. After finishing your obligatory 4th raspberry margarita, if you really want a guy to, like, you know, really get to know you well, invite him to watch you piss standing up in the ladies' room. If you're at a good Mexican restaurant, there's also going to be a mariachi band walking through there looking for singles. And I don't mean people, I mean dollar bills. Like the guys you used to see on the subway. Well, if you know anything about a mariachi band, you know there's that one guy with that really big, fat fucking bass guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, start comparing your own holes to the ones on that acoustic bass guitar. If it's getting late, the bill has been paid, coffee has been poured, and you're still not 100% sure, ladies, that you're going to get laid, pay the bartender and have him refer to you more than once as a cum repository. And if all else fails, I want you to follow Craig and Dave's advice. Just say you want to get laid.
That's it.
You're more than welcome to do this Mexican restaurant histrionics with me. Or you can just listen to those guys and just like express even a modicum of interest in having sex. Some guy will find you.
Yep.
And it will work. Can't promise he's circumcised, though. I don't know.
That was a manual on how to get an STD.
That's it. Well, we're getting to that later.
much.
We're getting to that later. I told you, we're getting back on brand tonight.
Mexican restaurant. Hey, let's go to Filmies.
Did you mean that like film me?
No, like Chili's.
Or like
Philly.
Or like
Phillies.
I
film
kept
me.
thinking it was fucking, what was it? Was it Dr. Let me put my beef in your taco. Eddie Murphy in that fucking movie.
So, Christie, I hope we answered your question.
There you go.
We are here to help. We are
Yeah.
here to help. You heard it right from 3 guys' perspectives,
Yeah.
right?
Right? Exactly.
Our second bit of listener request, if you will,
Sure.
came from my buddy Solomon.
What does Solomon have to say?
Solomon, my buddy, the guy I went to Metal Fest with about a month and a half ago, he actually said one word. He just goes, Bigfoot, go. He listens, and he knows Craig has something to say about this.
Of course Craig does.
So I'm actually going to take my headphones off right now and let Craig be the expert. He had nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Just
No,
Bigfoot.
just big. That was all. I saw it. It was
There
just
wasn't even like a yes or no.
Yeah.
It was just Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Exclamation point.
Done.
Done.
Solomon, this for you, buddy.
And I was like, let's go for this.
We got this.
Yeah. We got this. No, Bigfoot. I mean, I'll catch one day. That's my plan.
I'm glad we made it clear we've changed topics. Because if you said, I'll catch one day with the last topic,
Yeah.
very different show.
Yeah, exactly. But long live Bigfoot alien ghost hunters. I've explained there should be a History Channel show. If a lot of people think that Bigfoot are interdimensional, or aliens.
I,
Right?
I saw the Ancient Aliens Bigfoot episode on History.
So there has to be, if one died here, there's going to be a ghost of this ancient alien Bigfoot.
Shh, what's that?
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So you just walk through the woods and fucking look for orbs. You're like, there's a Bigfoot. Did you see that? Just,
An orb bagging a stick against a tree.
yeah.
Stupid idiots.
No, but in all actuality, do I believe in it? Kind of. I'm on the fence because the possibility is there.
Of course it is.
It's absolutely there.
There is fossil evidence of gigantic primates that did exist at one point.
Gigantopithecus. Yes.
Right? They were 10 feet tall-ish. They were huge.
Yes.
Right? They were gigantic. So they did exist. These type of creatures did exist at one point.
They exist in this room. Sorry.
So in that sense, we know that there were creatures that fit modern descriptions of this animal. Whether they're still around, I don't know.
But even that is it a species undiscovered, which happens all the time, and nobody can deny. We discover new species of animals constantly.
Yeah, but you don't hear about them as prominently and prolifically as you do with these Bigfoots or Yetis. No. You know what I mean?
No, you don't. We discover new species all the time.
Yes.
Yes, they're big. There's a lot of land out there that is not. I mean, as much as we think we've covered the whole globe, we really haven't.
No.
Yeah, a lot of it has been explored, but there's areas that haven't.
There are still tribes of people in remote parts of South America and Africa that
don't even
have no contact with the outside world.
Yeah. And the other thing is mountain gorillas. Nobody knew mountain gorillas existed. There was rumor of them until the 60s. I mean, that wasn't that long ago.
But you're supporting your point, or you're going against your point, I should say. You guys are saying that there's always another species out there. For the last 80 years, we've heard that these big feet, because that's what I'm calling them in plural.
Because it's plural.
Yeah, big feet are existing in, usually Washington, but now they're saying they've come east, and they're in Pennsylvania, and they're all these other places.
There's been claims of them in Rhode Island.
Of course.
In Exeter.
Stop it.
Yeah, and
there's been claims of there's been sightings in Exeter. And the funny
Mike
thing is,
never drives up there.
if you actually look at a global map, like a satellite picture of Exeter, it's massive. And there's nothing there.
I get
Just
it,
woods.
but you're missing the point.
But I get it.
We're surrounded by
They're not
drones
there.
now. We're surrounded by, we have Google Earth. People can find their own homes via satellite.
Yeah. Well, recently, that was the last sighting that I seen.
There's no way
was
these
a
things
guy-
exist. If they do exist, they're burying it because we would have heard about it.
Yeah.
Everybody that said, it's like aliens. Everybody has claimed that they've seen one, and they all have the same description of them. And same with Bigfoot. He's 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
He's either gray or white. Occasionally he's brown. But ultimately he's this tall, slack-jawed thing that drags its knuckles and this and that. And yet, how can we not find that? We've identified 15 types of mosquitoes this week.
Yeah.
If you're finding those microscopic things,
That's different. Yeah.
it's not.
No, I'm saying it's separation of species in bugs and stuff like that is astronomical. Probably find new species forever.
But how are you finding them if they're flying around your head? I can't swat one in front of my face.
I'm not saying that Bigfoot is walking around Exeter right now. I don't believe that. Washington, maybe. Up north towards that area. There's a lot of unexplored, uninhabited land. If they were going to be anywhere, that's where they would be. Do I believe it? Not really. I think a lot of it is probably bears. A lot of the sightings are probably bears.
On 2 feet, upright?
There's been some videos lately of bears walking around on their
walking
hind
around
legs.
on two. There's one bear in Maine that I seen it, and this isn't because of my uncle that lives up there.
Actually, I think
I've
it
actually
is.
seen this. No,
I think your uncle trains wild bear.
yeah, maybe it's possible, but no.
And
like
they all
was a
worship
video.
Rayanne.
They should. Now, there was this one video that I seen, and this was totally separate from everything. I just seen it, and it's in Maine. And this bear, it must have had an injury or something, and this thing walked around on 2 legs everywhere it went.
Wow.
It was a black bear, and it wasn't that huge, but that's all it did was walk around on 2 legs.
But it's bigger than a man.
but it's bigger than a man, and it's hairy.
All right, but what do bears do? They hunt.
Yep.
We haven't seen Bigfoot hunt.
No, I mean,
there's
not
no video of
necessarily.
Bigfoot hunting. He's always just strolling.
And throwing rocks
He's
at
like
people.
a mall walker. He's like a senior citizen at a mall.
But then that's the thing too. You go back to there's a lot of. It's like a senior citizen at a mall. You go back. There's
Put
a
him
lot
right
of.
by Contempo Casuals. Goes past Spencer Gifts. Ducks into Hot Topic.
Yeah. But I mean,
He's just looking for some oak leaf shaped soaps.
Well, you just fucking finished that, didn't you?
no, I just poured it into a glass.
That was totally empty, you
Yes.
selfish son of a bitch.
Oh, that was yours too.
That was everybody's.
Oh, sorry. Now it's mine.
Okay, cheers.
It
Tell me
wasn't-
more about your fake animal.
Right. No, and,
This
I'm
is
not,
all a conspiracy by the History Channel to keep their shows on the air.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not denying. Do I really believe it's out there at this point? No. I want to because I love that shit.
It'd be cool
You know
if
what I
there
mean?
was.
It'd be great. Is it possible? I do think yes.
I think it's far more likely it's just something else.
Something else. I think it was
Solomon's texting me right now. He goes, "Okay, Loch Ness monster, go." Because I think he sensed all the way from Pennsylvania in the middle of a Slayer concert that he's at right now that we weren't going to get a whole lot of life out of Bigfoot.
think
So
if
throw him
anything-
in the water.
if anything is more possible, not necessarily the Loch Ness monster, but if anything is more possible, it's gigantic
Deep sea creatures.
Deep sea creatures that
that
we've
makes
never
more
seen.
sense. The whole thing with Bigfoot, I think it's gotten to a point where it's become this social phenomenon more
Yeah.
than actually seeing anything. It's
I
not.
think, yeah, because I think the Patterson video was a hoax. I really do, and I think that's what kicked it off more than anything else.
Sure.
Native Americans reported it, Inuits, all the way to Nepal, where they report on the yeti. These are animals that it's probably a bear, and you're seeing it from a distance, maybe walking on its hind legs, because they do that.
And people are not good judges of size and shapes and don't have good memories as
All right,
I
but
will.
that video, like the one video that there's an iconic Bigfoot.
The Patterson.
All right, that guy is walking upright.
It is.
That is not a bear walk. I've seen
No.
a bear walk on his
No,
hind
it's a
leg.
stroll.
It's a strut.
It is.
It's
it,
like
it is.
Tony
It's a-
Monero in the beginning of
that's-
Staying Alive.
That's
That is
that's
not a
some
bear.
dude walking away from your house because he just banged your wife and you just pulled into the
Yeah,
driveway,
yeah.
trying
That
to
is-
look cool on the sidewalk.
That video is definitely not a bear.
I could tell by
Is it
the
a
way I move
is it
my-
a person?
It was Barry Gibb. Fucking that's it.
Like you see, what you don't see on the video is that every tile of the floor underneath Bigfoot is lighting up.
Each leaf changes a different color.
And that was taken in Washington.
I'm sorry, Craig.
I mean-
I admire your persistence, but we don't really care.
I know.
We did this for Solomon. Solomon, I love you.
Yeah.
Solomon, just for the record, is a guy who studies bugs like
Nice.
at a ridiculous rate.
Really?
He has put me on more video chains than I ever wanted to be.
Is that how you knew the mosquito thing?
No, I just know that because I read the news.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know you don't have time
I just
for
read
that.
Yahoo.
I just read Yahoo.
He checks his MindSpring account. Does a good Alta Vista search.
I gotta check out today's events. What does TMC say?
He went on Ask Jeeves. And fucking typed in bugs on Ask Jeeves.
Your face popped up with those new glasses of yours.
No, but is it possible that there's an unfound species? Yes.
Of course
Do I
there
believe
is.
do I believe 100% in Bigfoot? Not really.
Is there one that has eluded us in Washington State? No, there hasn't.
No, actually, you'd be amazed at in Washington State, Northern California, and Washington State. There's areas of the forest that are so unexplored.
You skipped Oregon.
In Oregon,
Okay.
but there's areas up there that nobody's really been to.
It's
Is that where you're
wilderness.
storing all this shit that you don't tell
Yeah.
Fran about?
That's it. And I mean, there's other. I mean, look at Montana and Wyoming. The population is so low. Look how big those states are.
Sure.
And those are northern states with lots of mountainous.
Don't
terrain
go to
and
Idaho,
forests.
though, because as you remember,
No,
4
it's-
episodes ago, we're sending all our pedophiles.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, even Canada, most of their population lives along our northern border, and most of Canada is just fucking wilderness.
Wilderness. Yeah.
So the chances of animals living out there that we don't know about is pretty high.
Pretty high.
You don't think
Is it-
drones and satellites are looking for these things, though?
No.
How are we finding types of
No,
mosquitoes
there's
if
We're
we
in-
can't find
but-
a fucking 10-foot
because
walking...
there's
But a
some
lot of
guy
these
in the,
items-
there's some guy in the bushes in fucking Brazil right now going, "I'm here for mosquitoes."
And there's some guy with a camera looking for a 10-foot hairy dude that could probably just be a fucking monster in the NBA.
Yeah, right, right.
They pay him like in grain.
No, and I get it. I get it, but it's just one of those things. I can't deny it, but I can't get behind it.
I think it probably started someplace. That I mean, we talked about that giant ape that was around. I don't know how many thousands.
Again,
years ago.
he's not here this week, but he'll be
No.
back.
Yep.
But at some point, some kind of intelligent people saw this thing, and there were stories that carried. And
Yeah.
I'm sure, and you talked about Nepal and those areas where there's been civilization for thousands of years. So stories, this oral history gets passed down. And
Is the
Yeah.
Yeti the same as Bigfoot?
Yeah,
They're
it's
the-
supposedly.
yeah,
that's-
they're the same.
Well, because
Type
one
thing.
lives in the snow, the other one lives in the woods. That's the difference.
yeah.
The
But
Yeti
it's-
was supposedly
it
the
could be as
abominable
just
snowman.
a subspecies of that.
So he
Yeah.
got from like Calgary
And who knows?
to,
It
to
could be.
Nepal.
We know. Like
It's like the difference between a Canadian and a Mexican. They're all about the same.
Oh, do tell.
No, that's.
By all means, finish your thought.
I'd prefer to not have that whole
one's
segment edited out.
caliente, the other is.
We let one in, the other one has to stay out.
One's caliente, one's caliente.
It's wicked nice.
Yeah. One's sorry
It
he
doesn't-
walked into our land.
I'm sorry I threw that rock
Yeah.
at you. I didn't mean to bang on. Did I wake you guys up? I didn't mean to bang on
Oh,
those.
didn't mean to
sorry.
leave
I didn't know this was Oregon.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry I left that head under the bridge.
Yeah.
He
Fuck
made-
your fence. I'm coming through.
Yeah.
He crossed my boss.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. One's the Yeti. One's the Yeti.
Yeah. All right. Apparently, we need to move on.
Taco, no.
Wait. We're not cool
Because
with
in about
race.
10 minutes, there's going to be a Jewish Bigfoot. So we might want to move on.
Well, he's fighting for a strip of land. I know that. It's good to be back, boys. Right? I loved being smart with you last week, but I much prefer to be done with you.
Exactly. But one of the other things was people asked us to go back to the hat.
Well, I think we should spoil a little something. We were supposed to
Yeah.
have a guest tonight,
Yeah.
and we were going to do the hat with him,
Yep.
and we might still.
We still, yeah, we could still.
But I want to actually raise. We haven't raised an official glass tonight. I want to raise that glass with our new glasses to Dave,
Today.
who came here with glassware, and it's no longer scenes from a hat.
Nope.
No.
Not at Studio B.
No, it's scenes from a head.
That's right.
Scenes from a head.
Dave came in here with. It was like he robbed a party store. Like one of those spirit Halloweens that pops up in the mall when nobody's looking. Like Dave went in there with a gun and
Yep.
like a blunt object and just said, "I'm taking all this shit," and nobody there cared.
Nope.
But we got all sorts of cool skull mugs. We have a giant skull full of ideas, which is more than we can say
Yes.
for about the 3 guys sitting around. But yeah, we're going back to the hat tonight. And Dave, since you provided not only the hat, but also the ideas in it,
So crack the skull and we'll
Crack the skull.
pull one out.
we need a lobotomy.
We're going to post pictures of the skull.
First topic from the skull. Name something you're better at now as opposed to when you were younger, and vice versa. So what's something you're better at now than when you were younger?
and then something that I'm worse at now.
Yeah.
All right.
I was better at masturbating then. But I'm better at masturbating tenderly now.
Yeah.
All right, I hate to ask, but you need to elaborate.
What's ironic is the first time I jerked off, I had the Bangles' Eternal Flame playing on repeat.
But it wasn't the song, was it? You were picturing the video, weren't you?
No. Just the song.
All right, that's weird.
I can't hear it without getting a semi right now. I tell you right now. I think it was on a fucking detergent
That
commercial.
song ever comes on in my car, the door's open and I'm just pushing them out.
Dude, Susanna Hoffs was hot.
Oh, she was.
She was.
She was.
She was a hot chick.
Yeah, past tense. But
I bet she still looks good.
But I mean, just close your eyes. Give me your hands, darling. Well, I do. I give myself my hands constantly. No, I that aside, I also think I was better at being rational then than I am now. I'm going to say that. I took the jump. I went right from a jerk-off joke, and then I brought it back to reality.
You did.
I think I'm a more rational, less rational person now.
Why? Why do you
I'm
think
more
that is?
reactive now. I have no reasoning for
Your
it.
childhood must have been fucking miserable.
Just jerking off all day, trying to talk himself out of it.
He's like, I'm not going to touch that. I pee out of it.
Oh no!
I need that for other things. Ow.
And then the Bangles came along, and suddenly it broke down the wall like I was living in East Germany.
He's doing it crying. He's just crying, stroking his dick.
It's not supposed to feel this way.
The real version of the crying game. Just spanking it by yourself. You got left by your right hand.
Are you kidding me? If I had access to candles back then, I would have lit them.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Now right now, I'd try to rub one out in my neighbor's sink if I could.
Dude, let me tell you, I was so happy when the baby went to daycare. I'm like, finally, I got a little time to myself in the house. No one else is here.
You won't beat off with the baby in the house?
No.
She's not watching.
No.
I didn't say do it in front of her.
I have a small house.
I would
sound
beat
travels.
off with my family in the house if I was in another room. If there's a door, I'm like, I can do it in here. Everybody's out there having a good time. Nobody's paying attention.
There's nothing worse than when you're in the shower and you're like, wow, they're probably aware of the fact that I'm taking a longer shower now. That's the worst. But other than that, no, all bets are off.
Yeah.
I got a hot tub in this new house, and believe me, don't get in before I warn you.
I'll never get in that thing.
Just bottles of Clorox around the side of it.
No, I'll sit on the deck and watch the rest of you marinate in Brad.
Every time you come over, Dave, are you allergic to protein?
Jesus.
Oh,
my
shit.
God. So Brad was better at whacking when he was younger.
Yep.
More rational when he was younger.
Yes.
All right. So I don't know where you are, Craig. I had a thought about this one.
Okay.
I'm better at drinking now than I was when I was younger.
Yep.
I have a much better handle on where I hit my buzz and how to keep it going and maintain it.
And
not just
maintain
get
it without getting sloppy.
fucking shit
and
bombed
yeah.
in an instant and turn to a mess.
Yep.
I don't like. It was more fun when I was younger.
I'm trying.
No, I think the word was failing.
Yep. Yeah.
But when we were younger, when you first started drinking, it was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna get shit faced. Like it was a whole new thing. You wanted to feel that, and
Yeah. Then at 9:30 at night, you're like, what?
Yeah.
On the side of your buddy's car.
but
Yeah.
when you were younger, your goal was to get drunk.
Yeah.
For the most part, now being a little older, my goal's not getting drunk. I want to get a good buzz
And have a good
and
time.
keep it.
Yeah.
Because
and
when
have
you've got a
fun.
buzz, everything's more fun. You're relaxed, but you're not. You haven't lost control of your
Yeah.
own senses. You know what I mean?
No, agreed.
So I think I'm a much better drinker now than when I was younger. Which I don't know how proud of that I should be.
Yep.
So that was my first thought on, what I'm better at now than when I was younger. And then I guess if I flip it, I don't know if you ever think, I might have to think about this. If I flip it back, Something I was better at when I was younger. Man,
Sports, running, getting up,
breathing,
getting out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm just back now. I'm just back. And you kind of nailed it, but I want to use the term. Dave was better at respiration.
Yeah.
Although now you flip it, you're better at perspiration. So it works out.
That's very true.
There you go.
Sorry I left.
When I was younger, I was much better at. It's kind of along the lines of what you said, Brad. I was much better at kind of controlling some of the things I said. I was much more concerned about other people's thoughts, so I would control. Like, I'm not going to say this. I'm at the point where I'm like, fuck it.
Well, when you're in high school or even junior high school, you care what other people think about you.
Even into my 20s, to an extent, I was worried about saying certain things and saying the wrong thing around the wrong people. I'm at a point now where I'm pretty comfortable reading a room, but also in what I feel that I don't fucking care what people think.
Yeah.
And I'll say what's on
I'm
my
getting
mind.
to that level of fuck it now.
It's not so much.
I don't want to be there.
It's not fuck it. It's more, this is what I think and this is why I think. And I don't have to justify it. Like, this is just me.
See, I don't want to say I'm the opposite. My thing is anger. Mm-hmm. Like, when I was younger, I used to fucking fly off the handle. Now that I'm getting older, I want to fly. Like, I'm like, I'm going to fucking snap this cabinet door off right now because why not? Right?
I'm sorry. I got to interject. I think it's cute you think you're still getting older. You're old.
Fuck you. No, but I used to have, when I was younger, I had a big thing. I mean, my apartment, I had to fucking patch holes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even before that.
So you're the guy that, like, you'd get pissed and punch a hole in
And
the
fucking
drywall.
punch a hole. Oh, stub my toe in a cabinet and just tear the cabinet door off.
No shit.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. And, like, mad at the cabinet. Like, it did it on purpose.
Happened to me in college. When I was in school, I worked the orientation program. Like, we did the tours for everybody that was coming through school. It was the best summer job ever. And I made friends with the head of facilities. Right. And so I used to put holes in my wall all the time.
Yeah.
And he would come and just patch them. And he never charged me, and he never went on my student bill or anything. What he didn't realize is the reason I was putting holes in it is because of his maddening bitch of a daughter that I was banging the entire time. She was also on orientation with me.
I just drooled. You said that.
I may have had a couple of excursions with her.
Yeah.
But her dad was the head of facilities at school, so every time she pissed me off, I'd put a hole in the wall, and she'd be like, "Let me call my dad."
Yeah.
And I just didn't have the heart to tell him, this happened right after I pulled out of your daughter.
I was thinking, you had this poor guy patching his poor daughter's escape attempts.
Yeah.
Wasn't like that. She didn't want to get too far away. She wanted to get too close. That's the difference.
But yeah, but my thing was...
This hole's my daughter's hat size. How about that?
She did. She looked like a fucking Fraulein. Like she looked like she should have been on a little cardboard box selling me hot chocolate. But totally fucking insane. She tried to pee on me once.
What?
I told this story already. I'm not repeating that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Folks that are interested, go back in the archives. It's there.
Yep.
Wow.
She did try to pee on him. Yep.
I would have peed
No,
back.
but I would say as old, my anger has gotten better. Like, and over the past, I would say like 7-8 years, it's calmed down.
You probably still. Do you still get angry at the same
Oh,
stuff?
fuck yeah.
But you can,
Oh, fuck yeah.
yeah.
Oh, fuck
He
yeah.
got angry that I asked him that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I do. But I
control it
I
better.
control it. I realize like there's no reason for me to fucking punch this wall.
Because then you have to fix it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
You should have been fucking the Fraulein. Let me tell you.
Yeah. No. Oh no. Everything still fucking pisses me off, and it gets me going. Which I was at the same time. I want to say when I was a kid, I was better at not giving a fuck.
All right.
Well, you're becoming more conscientious. Even since we started this show, you're more conscientious.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we had our
Yeah.
first discussions? This was going to be a free-for-all. It was me, you, and Mike,
Yep.
and we were going to sit around his picnic table and set up a microphone and just record the shit that we always talked about. You know, warts and all. We were going to throw everything in. And then I said, you know what, guys? Maybe we should have a notebook. And so we all, like fucking third graders, went out and got a marble composition notebook.
Yep.
Wide ruled because
Yeah, we
we're
did.
dummies. No college
Well,
ruled here.
You need to make room for
Because
Craig's
none of us
crayons.
had computers a year and a half ago.
Well, we figured that out eventually. I think that's when this show made the jump, when we discovered Google Docs.
Yeah.
Also, like, wait, we can like change our minds. It's not committed to ink.
Yeah.
But yeah, we started writing shit down, and then eventually it took the form of an outline. But when we started this show, you were all like, yeah, fuck it. We're just recording this.
Yeah.
And we quickly learned just how bad of an idea that really was.
And when I was younger, I had that fucking attitude, and I mean, maybe it was a good thing and not a bad thing, but kind of wish I had some of that still.
All right. Why?
For certain things.
Like what?
Because now I control. Like I said, I back down from things, and sometimes I feel like, oh, this motherfucker's walking all over me because I'm doing this. And when I was younger, I would have been like, nope.
Right.
That ain't happening. You know? So I get it's kind of a double-edged sword where I'm going with this. You know? So it's tough.
Self-control is
weird
tough
thing.
because you do find yourself backing down from things you wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have. And sometimes I back down from things that I shouldn't. You know what I mean? Because I'm just trying to keep the peace and do things. And sometimes I shouldn't back down from them.
I think, at least for me, a lot in those situations, kind of backing down or diffusing things is a result of me thinking about what are the consequences, what's going to happen.
Well, yeah.
So you have a better understanding now, having more life experience of if I do this, these are the things that could happen. As opposed to so you quickly in a moment can weigh your options.
Can weigh my options,
of potential outcomes. At least for me, like that's what drives a lot of my
Yeah.
decisions that way.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I used to get angry at things and freak out. And then now I'll just like, I'm like, fuck. And I can feel it coming on.
I'm getting tense watching you tell this.
No,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can feel it coming on. And I'm like, all right, just like, and I settle down. I'm like, fuck it. Whatever. Just,
You know, it hasn't
just
left
let
him
it
yet, though. I watched him make that same face deciding which McMuffin to... It hasn't left him yet.
Wait, which one to eat?
But that's how it was. Like it was at a point where I was like that. I'm like, fuck, like I'm just fucking gonna freak out by both McMuffins, and then now I don't know which one I want, so I'm gonna smash them together and throw them out the fucking window. Oh yeah, it was like that for a long time. I was like that. I was like, fuck this, fuck that.
Wow.
He was always hungry.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I
Well,
think
I
we need
got
to change
better with
topics.
that.
We need to change topics.
Yeah.
All right. So Brad, why don't you grab?
Craig is getting weirdly mean.
Yeah. It's not the story. It's how you're telling it. I can see it happening. I'm getting anxious watching you tense up.
Well, I'm thinking about the way I acted, and I don't like it.
No, I don't like your
know?
eyebrows are all furrowed and shit. You gotta get him a fucking gummy, something.
Oh, shit. Okay. Dave did the lion's share of the topics tonight.
Yes, he did.
And Dave is acting like he's been here since the beginning, fucker. If you could change one thing about each, needless to say, co-host, what would it be?
Oh, shit.
Well, I'll start off Mike's attendance.
Yeah. That one wins.
That's it.
That's the top one.
I was at Stop and Shop today, and I ran into Jimmy Hoffa, and he goes, "Where's Mike?" All right, no, I'm game. I would change Craig's ability to handle tension, apparently. No, I would change Craig's desire to buy shit. And I know that Fran's listening, and I don't really fucking care. Stop buying shit. Technology is not going to make this show bigger or better. We don't need a GoPro to get this show bigger or better.
It's not a GoPro.
Whatever it is.
It's a camera.
It's a camera.
It's
Yeah.
the more expensive alternative, Frank.
No, it's not. It was actually the same exact price.
Okay. Honestly, I think you're putting so much into it. Now I want you to sit back and get something out of it. I think
Yeah,
that,
no, I'm fine with that.
all right.
I just enjoy spending my. I'm not pulling money out of my savings account to do this stuff.
No. This we know.
You know
This is
that I would
cash.
never. I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? I'm taking my throwaway cash and spending it on something I love. You know, so
Another thing I would change about Craig, or one thing I would change about Craig, I think I would
this is two. Jesus Christ, you're gonna go out all night.
quite a few.
Well, you've seen yourself, right?
Yeah, I changed the mirrors in your house. Clearly, Fran installed funhouse mirrors just to make you feel better about yourself.
You make them all reversed one-way mirrors. He's just looking at studs in every room.
She hires good-looking people to be on the other side.
They're actually pictures.
It's like when you go through the haunted mansion and it looks like the ghosts are in the car with you. Oh, Dave, you wouldn't know that. That was at Disney World.
Oh,
Yeah, that dude's it. Yeah.
Actually, that leads right into my next answer. I wish Dave would go to Disney World. I wish Dave would be a decent father.
I just decided right now I'm not siding my house. I'm going to fucking Disney. Fuck the house. That's it. I'm tired of hearing this shit.
That's it. Let's do it.
No, you don't need to bring your kids, though. They've already been.
Yeah.
Bring Mike. He needs to get out.
What about you, Dave? What would you change?
What would I change? Oh,
I
boy.
shouldn't have let off with this one.
It's all right. Oh, gosh. I would. All right, I'll start with Brad and I'll go around. So for Brad, I would
Mine's
change.
gonna be worse.
No, I'm still formulating how I'm going to phrase it for you.
I saw his notes. It had the word growth.
No.
I'm still formulating how I'm gonna phrase it. He doesn't want to get me mad. No.
No. All right. So what I would change about Brad is I think you get too serious and critical about a lot of aspects of what we do, and even yourself. I think sometimes you just gotta let some things go. I think you get more invested in little things than you need to.
That's fair, but I also worry about what you guys are thinking of my effort. And last week I had a real problem with some of the things. I don't need to repeat them here, but we've talked about it ad nauseum off air.
Yep.
But I have a lot of problems with little things that should have been handled months, if not years ago.
You are
And
hyper.
I may have just done one of them right now.
No, but you're hyper self-critical, and the rest of us are not as hard on you as you are on yourself.
I get that, but in my opinion, I'd rather be hard on myself and work to strive better than be the guy on the flip side of it that doesn't give a shit. That's always been my attitude. If you guys are annoyed by me trying to be better, then if I go the other route, I don't want to be that guy, you know? That's where I'm at. I get it. I can be a pain in the ass. At this point in my life, I ain't changing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, that's who you are. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's you. I think I know. I see how Craig and I react to that stuff because it doesn't bother us one bit,
Nope.
and it bothers you more than it bothers us. That's all it is. For Craig, I don't know how much have we recorded. How much time do we have left on this?
SD card almost empty. What are you saying, Dave?
I'm gonna take over editing this week because this is all staying.
I was wondering why he brought the hemorrhoid donut to sit on tonight. Got time to get comfy.
The one thing I would change about Craig, I think, is you just talked about how open and you are in general, but I think when it comes to your friends, you hold a lot back.
I do.
So when it comes to things
I'll agree with that.
that are maybe, I don't want to say criticisms, even if it's constructive, I think you hold a lot back. Just because you're concerned, my guess is you're concerned about it affecting personal relationships as opposed to whatever. You don't want to cause any issues.
To an extent, yeah. No, I'll agree with that.
I think that if there's ways to say it, you can say you can tell someone, "Hey, why don't you think about doing this?" Or just be open and honest as opposed to ignoring it.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that. I do that. So fucking buckle in, losers. I'm just kidding.
Beautiful.
All right, what do you got, kid?
No. With Brad, it's very similar to what Dave said.
Shit,
I would
really?
just tell you to relax and settle down.
You
and
didn't ask me to do the show because I'm relaxed.
You know-
You actually said to me when we started the show, you sound like you got a lot to say and you never say it.
Yeah.
That is a conversation we
Yes.
had. You don't remember it because you were fucking hammered.
Yeah, I was hammered, but
But
Surprising.
truth be told, you actually said that to me. You said, you seem like the kind of guy who has more to say than what you actually say.
yeah,
I feel like we should do it on a radio show.
Yeah.
Your words, not mine.
yeah.
You're
But-
right. I bottle shit up, but I feel like when it actually does
No.
come out, it's almost
You
organic.
know,
No,
you know what's
no,
funny?
what
We're
I-
both saying the same thing to Brad. Now he's worrying about what we're saying about him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. His anxiety
You want to know why I'm
level-
up till 3 in the morning?
Yeah, exactly. His anxiety
making it
level
worse.
is way up. He'll be up until fucking Thursday now.
And still writing a better show
I
than
just-
you fuckers ever could.
Right? Nah, if there's
Craig's
any-
like, I want to talk about trees. And Dave's like, let's talk insurance, fuckers.
nah,
This show is not an easy thing to do.
No.
nah.
Not with
not.
these personalities. And these guys don't appreciate my tension, but
course we do.
fucking works.
No, it works. But like I said, the thing I've always wanted you just relax, and sometimes you're like he said, you're hypercritical about yourself, and a lot of times you need to lay off of that because you're not. And if I say it's fine, I'm not. Well, I guess according to Dave, yeah, I'm lying to you.
I didn't say no. You're not lying. You're just holding back.
No, I'm done.
I do.
I'm done joking around. I get it. I get it. And you know what? You're right. I wish I would just let myself enjoy this more.
Yeah,
But I feel like we're not. We've got potential to be a lot.
yeah, we do.
Better than
and
this.
and
It comes from a
It'll
good
come.
place.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and you want it to be
Yeah,
better.
exactly.
So it comes from the right place. I just, me personally, I just think some things you can't control every aspect.
I need to exhale.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I'm not going to fight you on this one.
And with Dave, there was one thing I could change. It would be probably that he wasn't married to my cousin. He still lived in Mass.
So what
don't
you're
know,
saying
Dave-
is that you're upset that Dave has carnal knowledge of
Yeah.
your cousin.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could really think of, Dave. I have to say.
Uh-oh.
But he's procreated with your cousin.
All right. Yeah, okay. Right, we're getting there. Right.
Part of Dave came out of your cousin
After part of me went into her.
The other thing.
once or twice.
The only thing with Dave I would change is that we hung out more prior to doing the show.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's one thing because every time we've hung out together, we've always had a good time. We always
Always.
got along.
Yeah,
And we didn't before. Prior to the show, we didn't hang out that much.
that's true.
And I kind of like what's going on.
Yeah.
And-
Part of it was the baby.
Yeah. No. Well, no. It was even before
the
that.
time-
Came out of your cousin.
Oh my
Oh, shut the fuck up. All right. Don't we have another topic?
There's a song from a band. What's it called? Cream Pie?
Fucking cocksuckers.
No, you're thinking of How Deep Is Your Love.
Not that deep.
It's deep enough.
It's like 9 months deep.
Fuck you. All right. I think
Craig, reach into the skull and
you
pull
want
out
to do
another
one more.
topic.
We'll
Yeah.
do one more.
One more.
Yeah, we'll do one more.
All right, Rich,
Describe your own ideal festival. Shit.
so if you can make your own festival, I thought of that fire festival. Remember that thing that fell apart?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like a concert festival?
Yeah. So
like,
if you could
or
make your
anything,
own,
just a
think of
festival.
like a 3-day festival. If you could
I
design
was just
your own.
thinking nothing but Polish swingers. Running around Queens madly.
Right?
I didn't realize bands had to be involved. That changes everything.
It can be whatever you want.
I think what I would like to do is actually set up a heavy metal festival, but like a Woodstock vibe, where it's communal and everybody's contributing food and they're contributing services and and make it a 3-day thing where you don't have to worry about a mosh pit killing your child. You know, you don't have to worry about too much alcohol, too much this, too much that. Everybody's just there to have a good time. I feel like concerts have become like this posturing thing. Like
How do you mean?
Well, you go to a show and you've got to wear your, well, at least with the music I listen to, you got to wear your darkest heavy metal
An
shirt.
appropriately themed shirt.
If you're going to an alt rock show, like an alternative show, you got to wear the shirt of the band that isn't playing.
Yeah.
You've got to show the band that
Yeah.
shows that you're a little more aware of the scene than the other people.
Okay.
You know, you never wear the band that's playing. Never.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy.
To quote, was it Jeremy Piven in PCU? You're wearing the shirt of the band you're going to see? Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, if you're going to see Nirvana, well, what's left of them? Yeah.
So you're going to see the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but I mean, so, say you're going to see like Candlebox, who's reunited and doing their thing, all right? But if you're wearing a band that was like open for Candlebox in '91,
Okay.
then you show that you're like that guy. And the same goes for hip hop. Everybody's got their stars, and everybody's got their allegiances,
Yeah.
and everybody's got this. You know, I would like a vibe where you just show up wearing whatever the fuck you want. You want to come in a fucking polo shirt.
Good. Yeah.
Have at it. As long we're all here for the music, and I would love to see that in a metal context. Is what I've seen about metal people. They're actually really cool people, but I feel like you go in there with your chest puffed. And it shouldn't be that.
There's an image that goes along with being into metal. There's a
Yeah.
people. You know, most people.
Unless
that
you're in
don't know-
helmet.
Yeah.
Then
Then-
you can dress like a fucking college student.
no, then you dress like a preppy kid from the waist up, and you dress
Yeah.
like you're at the beach from the waist down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all rugby shirts and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a certain look that you feel like you have to fit
Yeah.
into when you go see certain shows, and that's
And I fall into it. I'm going to do it tomorrow night.
we all do it.
You're going to get your wallet with your chain in your pocket. And
Not anymore. I got rid of my chain wallet. I missed that thing terribly.
You had one of those?
I had one for years. I love that thing. Actually, I got it out of necessity. I was teaching in New York. Kids tried to get your wallet.
So you got it for what it was designed to be used for.
But I would walk through that school with a chain wallet hanging off me, and I would wear like a button-down shirt on top of it. I never dressed that well. I haven't worn a tie more than 5 days in my professional life.
Wow.
Yeah, I just never had to.
No shit.
It was great.
Jeez, when I started, I had to wear suits. 3 straight years of wearing suits. It was awful.
And then they
Yeah,
said, you
fuck
know what?
that.
You look terrible in suits. Go work out of your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, go home. Go home. Don't ever talk to customers
hit 'em
again.
behind people.
In fact, I don't even want you in front of people. Do it virtually.
Yeah. No, you don't get a camera.
They gave him a cardboard cutout and someone better looking.
Yeah.
There's a flop in front of the camera.
Wow, this Dave looks a lot like Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey. You look like Matthew Broderick.
It's still better.
Oh, shit.
All right, so Brad's ideal festival was metal music and everybody getting along and no expectations.
No
for-
bullshit. No
Yeah,
bullshit.
just show up for the music.
And drink a lot of beer.
All right, Craig, what would your ideal festival
People
look like?
stubbing their toes and stabbing each other. No, I'm just kidding.
The Sand in the Wound Festival.
So Tina Turner's the MC for the festival.
And Ike Turner's the headliner.
Yeah.
No, I think for me, the best would be a mix of music, right? Almost like a Comic-Con, but with music, pop culture, and comic books.
What do you mean by pop culture? You mean like
pop
actors
culture.
and stuff?
Well, yeah, to an extent, enjoying themselves and playing with their own bands on a separate stage because they're all, when you have an actors band, they all suck.
Yeah.
But let them play, and then I don't know. I think I would enjoy that. I think having all the stuff that I love mixed into one thing would be awesome. Metal and fucking comic books and pop culture.
And like weird redneck rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like your redneck rock. Don't
I do.
I do too.
I do.
I'm with him.
I love it.
I'm surrounded.
I love
There's
it.
3 of us. Yeah. All right, so you're surrounded.
Have you seen the size of you?
All right, you're enveloped.
Yeah.
Smothered.
So basically a Comic-Con with like a concert going on
And better food.
and better food.
Yeah, I think-
well, food would be that'd be
I think
like,
food's
all,
gotta
like
be-
carnival food though.
Carnival.
Like carnival food. Like corn dogs and fucking crazy fucking giant pretzels.
Oh, that's great.
And
you know what?
powdered Doughboys.
You only need one porta potty because nobody's shitting after eating this.
Actually, that would be even better. There's one porta potty.
That's it. Everybody's colons are just spackled.
And there's a fucking squared circle out in front of it.
You gotta wrestle
Yeah.
to shit.
Yeah. If you're going to take a shit, you're going to
there's-
fight someone to get in there.
If there's wrestling for the right to move your bowels, I'm totally going to this.
Yeah.
Oh god, I'm in.
Yeah. It just improved my festival.
There you go. See, this is why we have a show. Cheers, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Cheers. Absolutely
Cheers.
cheers. No, you don't get the cheers yet. You haven't talked.
Damn
Yep.
it.
What's your festival?
Mine would probably be in
Kenny Chesney and Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln Log.
Did I almost have it?
You did.
Yeah.
Did I almost have the nose?
It was bubbling.
It was in your sinuses
Right
a
in
little
the,
bit.
in the first third of a mile that makes up my nose. It was bubbling.
Yeah.
If he had a normal sized nose, he would have snarfed.
Oh, you came out a normal sized nose that you got wet yesterday.
Yeah.
I was cocking that good. Holy shit, Dave.
Oh, and yes,
Yeah.
Apropos.
I would have different stages set up for different types of music. Like kind of like how I make a playlist for parties and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
But also with we had, you remember our I don't say it was our wedding reception, but we had a party when we came back.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you
And-
blew us all off here.
Yeah, we did. We said fuck everybody.
Yep.
But we had a band playing, but we had food trucks outside.
Yep.
So
And that was awesome.
It was a ton of fun, and I envisioned something like that just on a bigger scale.
Yep.
Different stages for different types of music. Like I'd have some like hard rock. Probably have some like some different country, some old school like early '90s rap, like shit going on there. Everybody gets into, right?
Yeah.
But a bunch of different food trucks that people can get into, and just like a chilled out
Then there's
vibe.
a race war at the end.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. But honestly, I think something like that would be fun. Like I picture when we have people over to the house, we sit out on the patio, we have a fire, we put on music, and we just let it go through
Let it
whatever
go
we
through
have,
whatever it is. Yeah.
and people just drink and have a good time and enjoy it. Because most people are into different types of music.
Yeah.
They gravitate towards one genre
One genre, but
as a
everybody,
default.
Yeah.
But you dabble into other areas.
Yep.
And that's kind of how we've had parties, and there's nothing special about our house. We have a tiny house, a little patio. We just put music on and drink, and we all have a good time.
Yeah, and have fun.
And I just picture that on a bigger scale.
Yep.
And I think that would be a blast to do something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So just with better sanitation and facilities than what we see. Like I'd have more than one fucking porta potty. Right, we wouldn't have like Colon Dome.
No, that's what I want.
Right.
I like Thunderdome.
I like
Yeah,
Colon Dome.
Yeah.
I want to hear a song about it from Tina Turner, though.
Yeah.
Right?
We don't need another plunger.
I feel like Brad needs to pull another topic out of the
I
skull.
think we're going to do that. All right. If we could only have one celebrity guest ever on the show, who would you choose? One living and one dead.
Ooh.
One living is coming next week.
Yep.
There you go.
And yeah, I'm calling you a celebrity, buddy.
Yep, that's right.
By all means, come here and do not judge my garage. One dead? Who would I have here? Chris Cornell. Because I want to be able to say all that shit to his fucking face. What's left of it anyway? They didn't get caught in the twine.
Oh my God.
I'd say Robin Williams.
Same reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much.
What about someone alive?
Alive?
No.
Actually, for the brand of the show and everything would be Jeselnik.
Oh, yeah. Anthony Jeselnik would be great, but then he'd remind us of just how bad we are at
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, he would. He would. But I would just love to sit here and listen to him tell us how bad
It
we were.
would be like
It
the
would be
most
fantastic.
educational hour
Yes.
ever. Like every joke we make, he'd be like, you should have said
Yes.
Yep.
And eventually we'd learn.
Yep.
Eventually.
Sooner
No,
or
Anthony
later.
Jeselnik would be the one.
That's pretty good. I think I would love to hang out with like Dave Grohl. I think he'd be a ton of fun to have on a show. I think he would just fucking.
I like
Yep.
Dave Grohl. I don't like his music,
You don't have to like his music,
but I like him.
I think he's a cool guy. I think
No,
Well, he's a
good
metal
guy.
guy. I like him because he did that metal album. He likes a lot of different types of music.
yeah.
I think he's open to a lot of things. He got a great sense of humor.
He does have a good sense of humor.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like
Yeah.
he's got a lot of, from what I've seen, interest and focus in a lot of different areas.
Yeah.
Stuff that overlaps a lot with us. Not to mention, I just think it'd be a ton of fun to just fucking pound beers with.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's exactly what he'd do here. He'd
Yeah.
grab the microphone and then he'd take over the show. I think we could sit back and let him
Just
have
watch. Yeah. That was my first
Yeah.
thought. I'm like, fucking, I'd hang out with Dave Grohl for a whole weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun.
it. That's fair. Dave, you know what?
You wanna
You
do-
brought the skull. You
do
brought
one
the
more?
glassware. I would. No, I think. I think
Call
we're
it?
gonna, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna call it.
That's fair.
Why don't you do a little housekeeping?
You want me to do housekeeping? Well, that depends on whether we have stuff available for people to buy on TeePublic or not, Brad.
Why are you being a douchebag?
I'm just saying, we've been promising since April
Right?
that we'd have stuff on TeePublic, but no longer on the old website that we don't even want to mention because it sucks like the Jets.
You know, it's funny. The one thing, Craig, we have never explained to Dave is that we get feedback about people,
Yeah.
and nobody likes Dave,
No.
and this is why.
Yeah.
That's probably accurate.
Dave, the balance of vinegar and water that is in your douche is unreal.
The pH is wicked high.
Seriously, you're not so fresh.
I'm sorry. Listen to us on all major podcast networks. NTS @_podcast.
You know what? You fucking suck at this.
Yep.
Dave, you know what? It's actually your birthday coming up, and your birthday isn't quite here yet, but we're going to treat it like it is. So you know what? Craig and I decided to fucking roast you tonight. So, Craig, you want to lead off with this motherfucking?
Sure.
Bitch.
Sure, I will.
I'm so mad.
All you
right
had
now.
to do was give us a little lead time, and you couldn't even
You
fucking
couldn't
do
even
that.
handle that.
You fucking moron.
Dave, your birthday's coming up. The big 40.
Yeah.
It's quite a milestone, especially at your weight. I'm sure your parents, and especially your father, as a retired police officer and war veteran, thinks it's wonderful knowing that their grown son could possibly, and has, shit his pants at any given moment.
I hate you guys.
I'm sure having seen his son go off to an Ivy League college and make a career out of teaching people to say, sorry, that's not covered in your policy, has made him fucking gloat at the local VFW.
Wait, time out. What world is Clemson and Ivy League college? It's like a Moss League college.
Well, from the perspective of Maryland, it's pretty high up.
Right?
God, we're looking down on
But I'm
you.
kidding. I'm sure he's extremely proud of your sister. No, I'm sure. No, nah, I'm joking. I'm sure they are. But I remember when you got on one knee and proposed to my beautiful cousin Rayanne, and everyone was surprised that your femur didn't crack under the pressure, and she said yes. But now I know she's a lucky woman to have a cousin like me. Anyway, here we are. But here we are in some rich prick's garage about to roast you in the presence of all your friends.
God damn it.
When Brad said, hey, we should roast Dave for his birthday, my original thought was that should take about 34 hours at 350. Then I realized what he meant. It's hard to roast a good guy like Dave. Seriously, why all the flannel? You're like Nirvana, Al Ballin, and a big toe all wrapped up into one giant mistake. You look like I imagine Rosie O'Donnell's farts smell like. Question. Did you portray the right or left testicle in the last Duluth Trading Post commercial? All jokes aside.
Get him.
All aside, you're a bear of a guy. Not in an intimidating, scary way, but in the opposite, like, twink way. Speaking of twinks, when your best friend Matt moved to Texas, all you were left with was us. I know we can't fill that space or your asshole like Matt did, but we love you, and we're glad that you're on the show. And this roast is all about love. Ing to bust your balls.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, I wish that was the only roast we had tonight.
Oh, fucking shit.
All right.
I'm going to need those gummies right now.
Awesome. All right, Dave's only been on the show since December, but it seems like this roast is long overdue. For the record, we also had one prepared for Mike, but he fucking skipped his own birthday. The reason we're doing this, Dave really hasn't been himself lately, and we've all noticed the improvement. But that's why we're here. We want to cheer him up a little bit. So here we are. I'm glad we're getting a chance to roast Dave, or as the gonorrhea community calls him, Patient Zero. What's weird about that is because no one can figure out how somebody can get an STD from beating off to Eddie Bauer catalogs. His flannel boxers are like beef jerky, firm and full of protein. I'm kidding. Dave's happily married to a woman he doesn't deserve and women that don't grow on trees. You know, like, of course, most of Dave's past dates can be found swinging from them. A lot of people think Dave's a pedophile. Maybe it's because of the way his wife is way younger than him. Maybe it's because his wardrobe is made up of cowboy hats and sleeveless flannels. But I didn't believe he was a pedophile until I first saw him walk out of a hockey game once the first period started.
Oh, my God.
Dave's wife, Ray, is an exciting woman with a few hot tattoos. Dave's last girlfriend also had some permanent ink. It said, not for use as a pool toy made in Taiwan. If this current marriage doesn't work out, he has enough extra chromosomes to build himself a new girlfriend. I'm not saying Dave's completely unfuckable, but every time he has sex, he instinctively starts crying and waiting to get maced. Dave could go to prison and have people say they just want to be friends.
Oh, my God.
Dave actually loves to play peekaboo with Rayanne. He drops his pants, she peeks, and then she boos. If Dave died today, Rayanne wouldn't know it at first. The sex would be just as good, but she'd eventually notice the crust-free bathtub.
God damn it.
But let's not go down that rabbit hole. Let's not do that. We should probably go back to the beginning. Because Dave wasn't always a steaming pile of shit. Dave was such an ugly baby that when he was first born, his parents tried to put him up for adoption and then name the placenta.
Oh, my God.
He was kind of big then, too. His umbilical cord was made of bungee. At his baptism, Dave's priest had to hold him under with a boot. But it turned out okay because they dated a few years later. Dave is so stupid that his high school football coach called him a tremendous drawback, and he thought he was starting the next game. We just got this camera in here tonight, so you guys are going to get a good view of what Dave actually looks like. Dave should actually share his photo to the suicide hotline so callers know things could always be worse. Dave, I fucking love you. If you were a drag queen, your name would be Trans Fat. Dave once made a porn video with 2 girls, and he's what filled the cup. We always make fun of Dave's beard, but Dave actually grew that beard so he could cover up all the spots the coat hanger hit him at as a fetus.
Holy fuck.
I made myself laugh.
Holy fuck. Holy shit.
I'm not saying Dave eats too much, but he lines his pockets with rubber so he can steal soup. Dave's photo should be used to sell extended warranties for chairs. Dave is so fat that right now he's simultaneously sitting in my garage and getting a ticket for loitering at Five Guys. Dave's shadow also needs Lipitor. Dave was recently diagnosed with flesh-eating disease and doctors gave him 27 years to live. Dave is also a big fan of Chris Cornell, and we're really hoping he goes out of his way to show it. But now Dave is one of us, and he's made an immediate impact on this show. He's actually pretty handy to have around the house. Last week, my vacuum cleaner broke, and he attached one of his intros to it, and now it sucks again. Dave, after staring at your face for 5 months straight, I kind of wish your neck had a foreskin. But I will say this. I couldn't imagine doing the show without you. Happy 40th birthday, my friend. Cheers in the middle.
Happy birthday.
Oh, fuck you guys. I hate you too. I'll see you next week.
Amen to that.
Goddamn.
Dave, since it's your goddamn birthday, take us out.
Jesus. Needless to say, we said it. Assholes.